Hello everybody, I'm Schulte. I'm a field agronomist for Beck's hybrids in Southern Ohio, but today we're standing at our Southern Illinois PFR facility and conducting what we call our virtual herbicide insight days, looking at evaluations of different herbicide topics, different herbicide systems, and in the study behind me, we're evaluating what options do we have and what efficacy is like when we no longer want to use a growth regulator in the post. And in this type of system, we're really looking at converting, say, a trait-driven platform like Roundup Ready to Extend, and now this kind of becomes more like a Roundup Ready type of soybean from a post-treatment. We can still depend on the glyphosate to control those glyphosate susceptible weeds and grasses. A lot of velvet leaf is still susceptible to glyphosate, but when it comes to controlling broadleafs that are tough, like water hemp, which is prevalent on this farm, giant ragweed, mare's tail, oftentimes we're gonna have to consider another tank mix partner. So in this study, we looked at what were the effective sites of action that could be beneficial. And what we really resorted to and looked at and evaluated, since there's a lot of ALS chemistry, we migrated to those group 14 or those PPO chemistries. So Flexar, Cobra. We even included another photosystem 2 inhibitor like Basagran and looked at how good can we do at controlling specifically water hemp, but those broadleaf glyphosate resistant species. So we got various different tank mix partners, but a couple things become important in this type of situation or in this type of treatment. Weed size becomes more important. All these PPO herbicides need coverage and they are contact killers. So they need coverage, they need gallons. And if we think about targeting smaller weeds have less growing point. I'm holding up here a water hemp that's about 2 or 3 inches in height. That would be the growth stage or the weed height. We want to start targeting our post treatments. Smaller weeds, fewer growing points, less places for it to regrow. We saw very similar treatments throughout these treatments. I should say results throughout these treatments as far as that goes. But we also focused on small weeds. As you can see, we have a lot of or lack of row closure, a lot of ground that is still exposed. So when we're looking at this type of treatment, it may be worth considering like a Warren Ultra, layering in a residual herbicide component because we don't have the crop canopy at this point in time since we're focusing on controlling smaller weeds. So it's still quite possible to have good efficacy or to get good weed control. We just have to change our way of thinking and focus on earlier apps. Oftentimes too, when we're considering what would that group 14 be, we have to think about that plant back restriction. When you consider like Cobra, it has virtually no plant back restrictions, say corn or wheat, like we do with Flexstar, which has a 4 or 10 month plant back restriction. So still quite possible to keep clean beans. We just have to maybe change our mindset a little.